If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
You're listening to Make It, the indie film podcast.
Welcome to Summaries. Let's dive in. I'm Ivey.
And I'm Allison Inverness. Yeah, our source material is this great conversation Chris Barkley and Nick Buggs had with Mark Maxey. He's an Emmy-winning producer, currently executive vice president at Rolling Pictures. Quite the title.
Absolutely. And our goal here is pretty clear. Maxey's been on this amazing streak with high-quality, prestigious films. He gives, honestly, a detailed look at how the creative industries really work behind the scenes.
Right. We want to pull out those key insights. It's not just his ideas about collaboration, but also the real practical stuff, financing, budgeting, and maybe most importantly, the mistakes you just cannot make in filmmaking.
Maxey's career really shows that you can aim for high art and be financially responsible. He's a creative mind, sure, but also incredibly organized.
And that blend is exactly what you need to understand if you follow this industry. It's not just magic.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with Maxey himself. People call him a moving train, which sounds about right. Emmy winner, EVP at Rolling Pictures. He's handling development, packaging, finance, production, whole deal.
Mm-hmm. And packaging, just so we're clear, for everyone listening, that's like putting the essential pieces together, right? The director, the main actors, the script, making it a solid bet for investors.
Exactly. And the pace is intense. 3 films last year, 3 planned for this year. That tells you his method works.
It really does. And look at the recent stuff. As They Made Us, that was Mayim Bialik's first time directing a feature, starring Dustin Hoffman and Candice Bergen. Big names.
And it did well. Got an 87% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which is fantastic. Plus, you can actually watch it easily. Showtime TVOD, it found its audience.
And that film kind of defines Rolling Pictures' strategy. They aren't trying to make, the next $200 million superhero movie.
No, nor are they like Blumhouse just doing horror, for example.
Right. Maxey is all about prestige stories, focusing on incredible characters, and crucially, they operate mostly in that sub-$10 million budget zone.
Okay, so why that budget range? Is it just about playing it safe with money, or does it give them more creative room somehow?
I think it's a bit of both, but the real clever part is how it attracts top talent. Look at his other recent films. Space Oddity, directed by Kyra Sedgwick, starring Kevin Bacon.
And Rare Objects, written and directed by Katie Holmes.
Exactly. Actors and directors of that caliber, they're drawn to strong scripts, character-driven stuff. And knowing the production is financially sound, well, that helps too.
Plus, maybe less studio interference than on a giant blockbuster.
Probably. The pressure's different. Quality seems to be the main driver, not just hitting a massive budget number.
Okay, that focus on story leads us perfectly into one of his most personal projects, the documentary Up to Snuff. It's about his friend and partner, the composer Snuffy Walden.
Yeah, this is a fascinating one. Maxey basically felt he had to tell Snuffy's story. He talks about this light bulb moment on the set of The Newsroom. He mentions Snuffy's name to Aaron Sorkin.
And Sorkin, who used Snuffy for tons of his shows, just lit up. Maxey realized, okay, this guy's impact is huge. People need to know the story behind the music.
And what a legacy of music. The West Wing, Studio 60, Sports Night, those are just the Sorkin ones. Then you've got The Wonder Years, Friday Night Lights, Nashville. I mean, wow.
Huge. But what makes the documentary itself so compelling is Maxey's approach to honesty, especially filming a friend.
Yeah, that seems tricky. How do you stay objective?
Well, Maxey was very clear. Snuffy had zero say or control over the final documentary. None.
Wow. That takes guts. from both of them, really.
It does. Maxey knew it had to be the real story, warts and all. Snuffy had this huge success early on, touring with massive bands in the 70s, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Chaka Khan.
Living the rock star life, I imagine.
Totally. But Maxey calls it success in excess. It led Snuffy down a really self-destructive path. The film doesn't shy away from that at all.
But that's where the redemption arc comes in, right?
Sure.
Exactly. Snuffy gets sober, completely reinvents himself as this incredibly successful TV composer. And get this, he did it all without knowing how to read or write music. He played everything purely by ear.
That's an unbelievable artistic instinct. Just pure talent.
It really is. And Maxey tells the story about Snuffy watching the film for the first time. Apparently, during the tough parts about his past, Snuffy was literally digging his fingers into Maxey's leg.
Intense. But it speaks to the honesty, right? Uncomfortable but necessary.
Precisely. And that commitment to authenticity, you see it carry over into how Maxey views filmmaking in general, especially collaboration.
Yeah, he contrasts his way with what he calls the solo act, like Robert Rodriguez, who famously does almost everything himself.
Yeah.
Writes, directs, edits, scores.
Maxey says he finds that approach less fulfilling. For him, film is fundamentally a collaborative medium. He truly believes the final product is better because you have all these other talented people, editors, production designers, cinematographers, bringing their expertise.
It's about leveraging collective genius. He has that great line.
If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room.
Love that. It's a fantastic leadership principle. But, I wonder how that applies when you're raising money. Isn't that often a more solitary, high-pressure thing?
That's a good point, but I think for Maxey, it means surrounding himself with the smartest financial and legal people, too. He's the one ultimately managing the risk, so he needs experts who can find potential problems he might miss.
Makes sense. And he points out that while writers are key in pre-production, actors during the shoot, editors in post, the producer is unique.
Right, the producer is the one person that's there from the beginning to the end. They see the whole journey.
From acquiring the rights, putting that package together like we talked about, scouting locations. He says he insists on being there for the first shot and the final wrap.
Overseeing editing, navigating festivals, handling distribution. It's constant oversight. They're the project's anchor.
And there's a really interesting bit about his childhood that maybe explains why he values collaboration and enjoyment so much.
Oh yeah, this was surprising. His parents, Linda and Larry, were seriously accomplished classical musicians. Dad, a top clarinetist. Mom, a concert pianist who played Carnegie Hall.
You'd assume immense pressure on him to follow that path.
But it was the complete opposite. They actively told him not to become a professional musician. They knew the grind, the intense discipline, the insane hours, his mom being on tour 6 months a year.
Wow. So what did they advise?
They told him and his sister to find their own path. And this is key to follow the fun.
That is seriously enlightened parenting, especially in the arts. And his path ended up being right there anyway.
Literally across the street. He grew up near Centron Studios, saw film editing, even worked as an extra sometimes, so the interest grew naturally, not out of obligation.
It really grounds his whole philosophy. Which brings us to the advice he gives filmmakers today. What are the big takeaways?
2 main things. First, build relationships. Your network, your Rolodex, as he puts it, is your most valuable asset.
And it's not just about schmoozing upwards.
No, definitely not. He stresses being decent to everyone. The PA you barely notice today might be the exec who buys your film 5 years from now. Simple respect goes a long way.
Makes total sense. And the second piece of advice?
Follow the fun! The same advice his parents gave him. If you genuinely love the work, it stops feeling like work. He says he can't wait to get started each day because it's fun for him.
That passion is infectious. Okay, let's switch gears slightly to the big one. Money. How do you actually get an independent film funded? Maxey has a very practical approach.
Yes, his rule of thirds. This is gold for indie filmmakers listening. It's all about spreading the risk.
So if you have, say, a $3 million bid film, break it down for us.
Okay, the goal is roughly 1/3 from equity investors. So that's $1 million. Then another third covered by tax credits incentives from where you shoot. And the final third, you aim to raise that against pre-sales.
Let's quickly define those. Pre-sales are basically deals with distributors before the film is made, guaranteeing they'll pay a certain amount for rights in specific regions once it's done.
Right, and tax credits are money back or breaks from governments trying to attract film production.
The beauty of this model is huge. Instead of asking private investors for the full $3 million in risky cash,
You only need to find $1 million of that higher-risk equity. It makes the whole thing much more palatable, especially for banks or more cautious investors.
But he stresses you need a rock-solid, detailed budget. Use the proper software, like Movie Magic. You can't just guess.
Absolutely. And he makes a great point. The basic costs, crew, gear, locations, that stuff, that number shouldn't wildly change whether you have George Clooney or a newcomer. The core production cost is the core cost.
It really demystifies things. It's not always about needing millions. He even mentioned a filmmaker who made a 13-minute space epic short.
That got into Cannes. Made for under $100 using green screen and favors. It shows ingenuity matters immensely.
Okay, but what about the pitfalls? Maxey points out a couple of creative mistakes that first-timers often make.
Yes, 2 big ones. First, getting so caught up in the visuals that you neglect the audio.
Oh, that's a classic trap. Everyone focuses on how it looks.
Exactly. Maxey's point is, if the visuals are a bit off, people might call it stylistic. But bad audio. He says flat out, if it's got bad audio, it's just a bad film.
Ouch. But true. Bad sound instantly makes something feel amateurish. It breaks the spell.
Totally. He calls it the unforgivable mistake. The second creative error is ignoring production design, thinking things just magically appear on set looking right.
Right, not realizing every object, every color should ideally serve the story. It needs intention.
Precisely. Things don't happen by accident. And then there's the big business mistake.
Let me get something about integrity.
You got it. He warns against people who just love to talk and never produce. His advice is simple. Do what you say you will. Deliver. That's how you build trust and credibility.
That principle of delivering, of service, it clearly extends beyond his film work, too. He's very involved in giving back.
He really is. He co-founded the Washington West Film Festival, which is pretty unique.
What's special about it?
It's the only festival that gives 100% of its net box office profits to charity. Their whole motto is, a story can change the world.
That's fantastic. They actually show where the money goes.
Yeah, they make short films showcasing the impact of the donations, so attendees see the direct result of buying a ticket. Plus, he's involved with the Rock and Roll for Children Foundation and Women in Film and Video, really committed to service.
It all paints a very consistent picture, doesn't it? Passion, collaboration, integrity.
Yeah.
So, wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway here?
I think Maxey's career really demonstrates that long-term success in this tough industry isn't just about flashy deals or huge budgets. It's built on genuine collaboration, being smart and honest with finances, meticulous preparation, and maybe above all, actually enjoying the process. The producer's job in his model is to protect the creative vision with a strong ethical business foundation.
And maybe the most provocative thought connects it all. Maxey actually credits his long, successful marriage, 24 years, to his wife, Becky, to the very same principles he uses at work.
Really? Which ones?
Do what you say what you mean, and that recurring theme, follow the fun. It suggests that maybe professional fulfillment and personal happiness aren't really separate tracks. They grow from the same roots of authenticity, integrity, and finding joy in what you do. Something to think about. Stay inspired, and until next time, be better, be creative, be engaged, and thank you for listening.
Hey everybody, Chris here. Before you go, if you enjoy our work and want to support what we do at Make It, please subscribe to the Make It podcast channel on YouTube and rate and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We have terrific tees, hoodies, hats, and more at cottonbureau.com. Just search for the Make It podcast and our store will come right up. If you have feedback for us, email us at contact@bonsai.film. Our insider newsletter, Indie Insights, is available at www.bonsai.film/subscribe. And you can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X at _MakeItPodcast. Until next time, and on behalf of the team at Make It, be better, be creative, be engaged, and thank you for listening.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.